Hello, this is Tidbits 21 through 25, focusing on social media use in the classroom. This first tidbit I have says it's a guidebook to social media in the classroom. And I would say it is about just what social media does in the classroom. The first thing they do is just to put social media out there of what it used to be in the past. So the quiz they give you is, should we teach letter writing in the classroom? Before there was social media, of course, people wrote letters. Then in the 80s and 90s, we have, should we teach email in the classroom? And today we have, should we teach social media in the classroom? So really the issue of socially connecting with each other has existed all the way through education. It just has evolved in different ways. So first starting with letter writing, then email, and now social media. So teachers are still dealing with the same things, but they just have to figure out how to deal with it in the classroom in a meaningful way. A quote I like down here is, "Don't mistake social media for socializing. They are different. Just as kids are talking as they were in a group or talking while they're hanging out, it's different." And I think a lot of people get scared when they say social media because the kids are so social and they're like, what's the point of this? There's no educational value. But it all has to do with the way that teachers implement it, which I'll be talking about in a few of my other tidbits. 12 ways teachers can use social media in the classroom. These are 12 great links that teachers can basically go in and see real teachers' work. They can have tweets from the teachers. They can create blog posts. They can write to students around the world. They can connect through other classrooms through social media like Facebook. They can watch YouTube videos. And all of these are real life examples, and I liked exploring them in this article. Finally, I like this last phrase here that she puts at the end. If you're going to ignore social media in the classroom, then throw out the ITSE standards for students and stop pretending you're 21st century. And I definitely agree with that. We are, as tech coaches in this classroom technology endorsement program, trying to teach students to be mindful with technology. And if we don't and we just say social media is out, we are definitely ignoring those standards. The second tidbit I have for you is connecting a classroom reflecting on using social media with students. And this one basically does a little how-to. So why connect with your students in the first place, and then how to choose a platform to use. And of course, I like this first bullet here, the one that you're most comfortable with. I wouldn't go and try Twitter when you've never used Twitter yourself. So if you are a good Facebook user, then these educators should be using Edmodo, which is very similar to Facebook. And so you should choose a platform that you are most comfortable with. And then have access to your target audience. And make sure your parents have access to it. Some of the more social media things of Instagram, and that's why it says on number 3, maybe it's only available on smartphones and tablets, but not everybody has those. Where Twitter you can get on not only smartphones and tablets, but also on laptops. And then there's a variety of other ways to view it, and it doesn't have to be just on a mobile device. So to think about that when you're choosing. Communication is key. Of course, get the parents involved, get permission to do anything on social media. This is key for your administration, your parents, especially if your students are under the age of 18. They also suggest co-ownership, so don't feel like you have to create everything online. They said here, a student said to co-create visual communities with students rather than for them. Research shows if students are invested in their own learning and it's their own learning, they're going to learn more and take more away from your lesson than if you just create it. My third tidbit here is another one from the collegiate level, which is a study suggests benefits of social media in the classroom by this Dr. Richard Light at Harvard. According to Light, the strongest deterrent for student success in college is their ability to form or participate in small groups. So he suggests to do it on social media. Students research participants who are in the study, and each only, even if it's only once a week, there are more of them that are engaged, the more students will work together and learn. That's definitely a benefit, and he says it right there in his findings and in his articles. And Light even reports that some social media as technology can be deemed as cool. And I know professors don't want to be like, oh, I'm cool, I'm not. But this is a new way to connect to your students if you're teaching at the collegiate level of doing it through social media, or even if you have distance learning, kind of like what we do with our education technology classes with discussion boards of that, how that is so important of the group discussion on social media. This next one is also about the collegiate level and using social media in the classroom. And it says using social media in the classroom, why there's a lot of likes. This is basically an overview of studies and talking about using it by professors in colleges. And it says here, I like this quote, a recent study, to tweet or not to tweet, compared academics and student usage of Twitter in academic contexts and found that although many students reported using Twitter in learning environments, their usage was most often passive and non-academic. And I think that goes to all teachers at any level. We have to teach students how to use it and how to use social media, not for the social aspect of sharing pictures and selfies and things like that, but learn how to use it in a professional manner where they can share information and increase their learning. And that's definitely true, as I said, at the college level, but also in the K-12 education. It's all about teachers educating students how to use the social media appropriately and how to learn from it. This last one is social media reviving or killing our classrooms. I thought this was very interesting because, especially this picture with the girls, that's what teachers are scared of, is right there with the cell phone, and that they're going to be chatting during class, they're not going to be focused. And this article basically talks about that strictly. Social media is a constant temptation. We know that. But I like this quote down here. It says, teachers have to educate students to be disciplined and responsible in their use of technology, as I said in the previous tidbit. Owen says, why should the next generation have to power down when they come to school and thus receive their education in a 60s style classroom because educators can't figure out a way to be successful in harnessing technology? And I think the teachers who are totally against any technology use and only use pen and paper, this definitely falls into their category. Also, the visual impossibility of police, a lot of people are scared of that. And I think this article just talks about the fears, but also the benefits of using social media in the classroom. And I would definitely agree with them that knowing what the students are on is definitely a fear. And this is a good article, talks about both sides, but also gives some solutions. Thank you for listening to my tidbits on social media, and I hope you learned something new.